Shree Mataji. Let's all settle down for tonight's meditation. Let's bow down, raise our energy, and take a bandhan. We will start with the workshop, and after that we will have the meditation and then Shree Mataji's talk. So let's group in two or three, and we'll work on each other and then take turns. You can switch the partners now. prepare to finish the workshop in 1 minute. We will start with one bhajan.
कृपेने तृप्तमी उदत अंतर्यामी तुझ्या कृपेची देत जागृती दिव्य शक्ती तिमी सर्वस्वाची देऊन लेने करी धन्य माते नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते श्री निर्मला देवी नमोस्तुते 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 श्री निर्मला देवी नमोस्तुते तुझ्या करो कर ह्यावे स्वाची करती अंतर्वेती तुझ्या करो कर ह्यावे स्वाची करती अंतर्वेती तुझ्या करो कर हरि आपदा देऊन धन संपत्ती तुझ्या करो कर हरि आपदा देऊन धन संपत्ती समर्थ तुझी समर्थ करी मज दिव्यत्वाची मूर्ती सर्वमंगला युगंधरा तुझी आदिशक्ती तुझ थाय मन लाओ देऊन सहज योग माते नमोस्तुते नमोस्तुते श्री निर्मला देवी नमोस्तुते 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 श्री निर्मला देवी नमोस्तुते श्री निर्मला देवी नमोस्तुते श्री निर्मला देवी नमोस्तुते
Let's all now raise again our Kundalini and take a bandhan. Let's bring our attention inside. Shree Mataji, please come to our meditation tonight. Let's start with Shri Ganesha mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Shri Ganesha, I am going to be worthy of your attention. Please give me wisdom and discrimination. You can say mantra for Shri Nirmal Ganesh. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nirmal Ganesh Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Let's keep our right hand on the ground. Shree Mataji, by your grace, I am innocent. You can say mantra for Shri Ganesha Gauri. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Gauri Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, by your grace, please make me innocent. Let's bring our right hand back in our lap and put left hand on the ground. And we can say mantra for Shri Kartikeya. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kartikeya Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devye Namo Namaha. Shri Mataji, please make me worthy of you. Shri Mataji, whatever I do is to please you. Shri Mataji, truly you are the slayer of all demons within me. You can say mantra for Shri Rakshasa Hantri Sakshat. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Rakshasa Hantri Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi, Namo Namaha. You can now put attention on our left channel. Bring left hand in our lap, right hand on the ground. Mother, please come to our left side. Please remove all our conditionings. Please remove all our lethargy. Please remove all our impure desires. Let's put attention on right side. Bring left hand towards the sky. Mother, please come to our right side. Please purify our attention. Please remove all our overthinking, all our worries about the future. Mother, please remove our dominant behavior. You can now put both hands in our lap and let's put attention on our nabi and void area. We can work on our nabi, give 10 bandhans. Mother, please come to our nabi. Please awaken your divine qualities in our nabi. Please awaken peace in us so we can become peace. Let's put right hand on our nabi and we can say mantra for Shri Lakshmi Vishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Lakshmi Vishnu Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can maintain our attention on our Nabi, and I will read the praise to Sri Vishnu. Amen. You are forever peaceful, dwelling on the great serpent, Sri Shesha. O greatest of gods, from your Nabi arises the lotus of creation. You are the support of the universe, magnificent like the sky. Your skin is dark like a rain cloud. Your limbs are auspicious. O consort of Sri Lakshmi, with eyes like a lotus, yogis may know you only through meditation. We pray to Sri Vishnu, who destroys the fears of the world. You alone are the master of all the universe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We can now raise our attention to Sahasrara Chakra. Mother, please come to our Sahasrara. Please give us thoughtless awareness. Please keep us in meditation. Thank you, Mother, for everything. Let's now watch Shree Mataji's lecture.
Today we are going to celebrate the birthday of Mahavira. Mahavira is the incarnation of Bhairavnath, or you call him at Saint Michael. Now these two saints, as you know, one is the Gabriel Hanumana and another is Saint Michael. One is placed on the Pingala Nadi and another one, Saint Michael, on the Ida Nadi. So, Mahavira had to go through lots of search. Of course, he was a angel, but came as human being. And he had to find out the thing of the left side and how the left side acts. It's a very complicated thing, left side. It's much more complicated than right side. On the left side, we have also 7 nadis. And these 7 nadis are placed one after another. They are described in books and given different names to them. Now these 7 nadis that are on the left side, as you know, they cater to our past. Say, for example, every moment becomes a past. Every present becomes a past. Then we have past of this lifetime. And also we have past of our previous lives. Then all the past is built in within us since our creation. So all these psychosomatic diseases, as you know, are only triggered by the entities that appear from the left side. For a person, supposing he is suffering, say, from liver trouble, and suddenly he is attacked from the left side, especially Muladhara, or any left side, left navi. Because Muladhara is the only one that is connected with the left side, Ida Nadi, and the right side, Pingala Nadi, is connected to Sadhisthana. So the problems of Muladhara are really beyond the reach of human beings. And when it is attacked, any one of these chakras on the left hand side, then psychosomatic diseases occur into human beings. As I have told you many times, now this is the center, this is another center, left and right. They are on top of each other. Using the right side too much goes up to a point and suddenly something happens on the left, triggers. So all diseases, say even diabetes, is due to the psychosomatic effect. A person who is very hardworking, thinks too much, very right-sided, suddenly something happens, maybe also he might inherit that diabetes because of the past, and it triggers and you get this psychosomatic problem. Now this psychosomatic problem is only cured if you know what's the problem of the left side. So Mahavira went quite deep onto the left side. Why I said it's difficult, the left side, is because when you start moving on the left side, the movement becomes linear, of course, but it moves downward. While the movement on the right side moves up. So the movement goes down like that. And then it coils up, forms coils. And you go on moving with it. So you are lost in the coil. But the other one moves upward and the coils are not so many. And because it is upward, it's easy to get out. So those people who go to the left, by any chance, by thinking too much about their past, crying about themselves and always complaining, are more difficult than the people on the right side. But the right side people are troublesome to others, while the left side people are troublesome to themselves. That's how this left side was to be found out properly, was done by Mahavira. Of course, he knew also, I think, all about it. So he has mentioned practically in details lots of things that can happen to a person who goes to the left side. He gave the idea of hell. It also describes 7 types of hell. I mean, it's so horrible that I don't want to tell you what is hell is. Horrifyingly cruel, horrifyingly joyless, and horrifyingly so repulsive that you hate yourself when you understand you have committed this mistake, you have committed this path, this sin, and then what is the result? What you get, the punishment part. Mahavira worked it out, everything. He has given in all details what sort of punishment is due to a human being who tries to be left-sided. Also, he has given about the person who is right-sided. But not to that extent, because he had to deal with the combination, but mostly with the left side. As I've told many people before, and here also I perhaps maybe, that there is a soul that is made out of the causal bodies of all the five elements. The causal, say, for example, of the earth is fragrance. So this soul, which is made of the five causal bodies and your sentence, plus we can say also it has got the control over the parasympathetic. It sits on the spinal cord from outside and activates the parasympathetic nervous system. So it has a connection with every center. Now, this is the soul when we die with the Kundalini and our spirit goes into the sky. And it is the soul that guides now the movement of our being, whatever is left now, into a new being, and that's how it works out. So everything that we have done so far is recorded in that soul. When you were asking me, Mother, we see some sort of round things, you see, lying together. What is that? I told you this is the dead soul. And now they have found out what I have told them. Because, see, when a person dies, his soul shows you, like even now you can see, round things. There could be many, there could be one, a string. And they saw it under microscope when I told them that the soul within us is reflected on the cell, which is the reflector of every cell. So the part of the cell which is the reflector, which is placed on one side of the cell, also has this soul reflected. And the main soul, which is on the back, controls that reflected soul, which looks after every cell. Now they have found out that there is in that reflector this kind of 7 loops. 7 loops because it sits on the 7 chakras and the Muladhara. Now what he found out that when people die, then some of the souls are born again just after a few days. These people are just very ordinary type. That's how we brought in a kind of category. So they are people who have died. They are of a category, one category, where they exist for a very short time in the collective subconscious, and then they take their rebirth. They are very ordinary people, aimless, useless people. But there are some souls, when they die, they just hang in the air, and they are just waiting to find out somebody who will fulfill their desires, which are not yet fulfilled. Like there's a drunkard, and a drunkard can join another human being who is living, who would like to drink. So once he starts getting this So once it starts getting into the habit of drinking, some of these souls can just jump on that person. And when they jump on that person, they can make him a real drunkard. I remember of a lady who was a very short, petite person, came from Cuba, in America when I went first. And she told me that she is very sick of herself. Her husband told me that she can take one whiskey bottle full, neat sometimes. Looked at her, such a little thing. I said, how can she do it? So I put a bandhan on her and I saw a huge, big Negro standing behind. So I said, do you know some Negro? Immediately she jumped on me. She said, Mother, you see that one? You see that one? That's the one drinks, not me. Of course, I cured her, and after that she gave up drinking completely. So, whenever you start getting into a habit in a bad way, you lose complete control of yourself, and a spirit sits on you and it controls you. And when it controls you, you do not know how to get rid of any habit. That's why it's difficult to get rid of habits. Now, in Sahaja Yoga, when the Kundalini rises, what happens? That the spirits, these dead spirits, leave you and you become all right and you give up. That's how it works. I would say that all this Mahavira did not tell, nor did he find out all these things, because he was not a scientist, I think, or I don't know why. But what he has talked about is the hell. And he has said that if you do this kind of a thing in your lifetime, then what kind of a hell you will get. And he has described the hell in a very, I should say, openly and in a very detailed manner. And it's really horrible to know that a human being who thinks no end of himself ultimately will get to that kind of a hell, and some are permanently doomed to be there. But as incarnations take birth, also these devils, some of them who are completely doomed to live in hell, also take their birth. And when they take their birth, they try to trouble us. And they can take birth as you know, as our gurus and things and everything is happening now. You find it how these people are taking their birth and how they are misleading us. How they are using the left swadhisthana, or we can call it the left side, just to immobilize us completely. So when a person is possessed, as you must have seen, a person gets possessed, he cannot feel vibrations. There are all kinds of symptoms about such a person. But in Sahaja Yoga, what do? Is to take the name of Mahavira. Because Mahavira runs all the way on the Idanadi and comes and stays here up to the, we can say, a point which is for our superi. And it sees, controls, works out, cleanses, and does all that is required to put a person right after surgery. We have to be really very thankful to him for doing this kind of work, which is very filthy and dirty, because these people don't mind even sitting in the bathroom, like that we can say, or sitting with everything and meditating. They can do anything. They are very dirty people, absolutely dirty. When they become tantrikas, they try all kinds of dirty things, and with that, they actually create a problem between themselves and the God. Say they will go to a temple of a goddess and start misbehaving with the woman there. So the goddess will disappear. And once the goddess disappears in that area, they call all these booths from the left side. So now we have all these souls which are lying, hanging in the air, trying to come back to a conscious thing and to possess someone. Plus these, we have these masters of the left side who know how to catch hold of these people and put them on somebody, or to remove from them someone and to put somebody else. So it's a continuous process. And this makes a person absolutely mad and good for nothing. Now, when we know all this, still we get caught up on the left side. So we do get caught up. That's why I think this Mahavir Jayanti is a very, very great thing for us to observe. Now, why was he called Mahavir? Because only a person like him, Veera means a person who is brave, who is chivalrous. Because only he could do this. So only he could enter into the being fully and could kill, or we can say destroy, those horrible rakshasas, devils, all these negative things that come to us. Now, as you know, we use left side very much for so many negativity that is torturing us. But if there is no help, say from Mahavira, we cannot do it. We call the name of Mahavira, we could call him Saint Michael, we can call him by any name, but Mahavira because he was a human being. All this works out because of him. And he's such a great identity. He himself took a birth as a human being, difficult for saints to take birth as a human being. Moreover, to see the whole concept of hell and all that is described in any scripture is a fact. It exists. And if you try to go in there, you see, when I try to go there and to find out, I just go off to sleep sort of thing. In my sleep, I find out all the things that are happening about person, how much he's got up, what he's done. It's not an easy thing to do with the conscious mind. You have to take to the subconscious and you have to go into sushupti, in a deeper sleep, to see what's happening in the left side. It's a very funny situation, I think. And for Sahaja Yogis also to enter in it, I would not advise. But one should get rid of the problems of the left side with the help of Mahavira. When this chakra is caught up, what you find is a big lump of bone coming out on the right side. So you have to take the name of Mahavira just to remove that pressure from the left side. Now many people do not even know why they suffer. Why should they suffer when they have done nothing wrong? Because they are possessed. Now, even the viruses and all these things like psychosomatic troubles like cancer, all I would say, the incurable diseases are there because we are triggered into the left side. That's why we are suffering from these diseases which are not curable. So we have to thank really very much Mahavira, who has given us this power to remove our left-sided problems, who has given us this light in our hand, which he himself vibrates, and he himself tries to throw some light on the obscure things about me also. Because of him only, we can get cured of so many physical and mental troubles. You know that the left side can be easily cured if you use 3 candle treatment. That shows Mahavira is only fond of light. He doesn't like darkness. And his idea is, I think that way, is to now fully go all the way to clear the left side as far as possible, to help Sahaja Yoga to be established in countries where I find still a lot of this negativity is there. Lot of it. So he is working it out everywhere. And the psychosomatic diseases and all these diseases also we can work it out with candle light and all that. With 3 candle we can do this trick. So we have to be very thankful to him that he has achieved this kind of entry into the left side and has found out for us what sort of problems exist on the left side. It's such a nice thing that we have got today the chance to celebrate his birthday here in a place which is really very much loved by him. Now you may say that Mahavira is sometimes seen as a person who is naked. So it happened that he had gone in a jungle to meditate and to find out about the left side. And when he got up, you see, he got caught up in one of the bushes. And he had to torn off half part of that. When that half part was torn off, then he came out of those bushes and he was all right. But at the same time, Sri Krishna appeared there on the scene as a little boy from a village. And he said that I am a poor man. This little boy said, I am a poor person. I have nothing with me. You are a king. You can always get your clothes. Why don't you give me this half cloth that you have? And they say so that it was given to this boy and who ran away. He was nobody else but Sri Vishnu. And this, you see, Vishnu took away that cloth and hardly for about 2 seconds or 3 seconds because he was a king, you see. And he hid himself with leaves and went to his palace and got rest. But imagine the people, how negative they are. They just walk without clothes. Jainis, they have, you see, all kinds of taboos against all the worms, everything. It's said, these people have started, that if you do not respect these little animals, like you can say, even serpent, or any animal which is troublesome and bad, but is a human, is a living thing, so is to be preserved. Now these Jains are mad. I told you that they have gone to such a limit of vegetarianism that they try to save even the bugs, put the bugs in a hut. And the hut has got a Brahmin there. Now these bugs suck the blood of this Brahmin. And once the Brahmin is completely, I should say, sucked in by these bugs, they fall on the ground. Then they allow the Brahmin to come out and they give him a lot of dakshina, means they give him money as a reward for helping the bugs to suck his blood. This kind of vegetarianism is there. Beware of vegetarians. You see, even Hitler was a vegetarian. So you can imagine what sort of a vegetarianism it is. All these facts of vegetarianism and all that are not at all required. And that's what Mahavira showed in his life, that it is not at all important to bother about food, what issue. See, the whole theory of this vegetarianism has gone to such a nonsensical limits that I have told people that we should give up vegetarianism completely. Now also see the juxtaposition of what he wanted to do. If you do not eat proteins, you cannot fight booths. A person who has booths in him must eat a lot of proteins, not carbohydrates, but proteins, so that it can fight those left-sided enemies. But here it is, they have to be vegetarians. Now imagine there are left-sided enemies within them and they want to be vegetarians. Finished. How will they fight? So all this is all we should say is pre-planned by the person who tries to sort of we can say like this, that you see a person who tries to remove uh, the, or we can say that the person who tries to make these lower animals live rather than human beings. You see, there are persons. This is the stupid thing they do. Must know that I cannot give realization to these worms and to these fishes or even to chickens. We require human beings. So, all this has happened because of human beings going in juxtaposition of whatever is said. Like Christ has said, thou shalt not have adulterous eyes. And I have yet to come across a Christian who is not a Sajogi without adulterous eyes, whether it's a woman or a man. So we go just the opposite of what we have been taught. In the case of same thing happened, that Mahavira, what he tried to do was absolutely killed by these people who are trying to make this vegetarianism as a big religion. Also, another thing was that this vegetarianism came into Jainism through one fellow called Neminath, who was a Tirthankar at the time of Sri Krishna. He was to be married. In those days, they were married. Not only, but they were eating all kinds of meats. And so many lambs and goats came for the wedding of this man. So he felt that Uparati, we call it, he didn't like, he was disgusted, he was frustrated with that. With that frustration, what did he do? He said, I will not eat meat. And that's how vegetarianism started among Jainis. And that's how it's still going on. And these Jainis, I find, are the joyless people, absolutely joyless. They are so much fond of money, they run after the money and they go on behaving in such a peculiar way that you can't understand. I mean, they are human beings, but the way they behave, you cannot understand them. They are not normal people. So we realize that despite all that Mahavira worked out, still the people are supposed to be his disciples. They are Jains, and they are like this. So what we have to do now is to understand that in Sahaja Yoga we better not do something of that kind. Whatever you are told, you have to understand why it is so. You know the modus operandi, you know each and everything about Sahaja Yoga. You know the whole subject. So it's not proper for you to, in any way, to succumb to any such arguments or any such big talks or big advertisement and take to something that is wrong. It's very important. We are Sajogis. We understand the balance. Of course, I always say that Westerners, for example, maybe Australians also, should take more to carbohydrates because they eat a lot of meat. So they can take to carbohydrates. But that doesn't mean vegetarianism by any chance. I mean to compensate. And in India, I always say they must take to more meats. It's good to do them good. But in by no means I say that you just eat meat and nothing else. But a balance has to be found out. And once you strike it, then you'll be surprised that you feel so relaxed, so much better, so much enlightened, and the vibrations will flow much better than normal. So for food, you have to be careful. Same about with clothes, that you shouldn't go mad after a suit all the time, whether it's hot or cold or indifferent. What you have to do is to wear something that will suit you. Now, for example, in a climate like this, you may require a suit or something to cover yourself. But supposing you are in Ganpatipure, some place like that, where it's not so cold, not so hot, maybe it's dry. So what sort of a dress you should wear which is comfortable, that should be found out. And whatever you find out, that this is such a comfortable dress for us, you better do it. Because what I have seen, many, you see, it's a thing that whenever I tell you something, don't take it to the extremes and don't take a little bit of it. But when I tell you this thing, you must understand that whatever is good for you, whatever is your temperament, whatever is aptitude, you have to take something that will nourish that, that will improve you and give you a balance. So, to balance yourself, if you think of Mahavira, you must think also of Sri Hanuman. Both these things are important. It's not easy to tell all about Mahavira in this short lecture, but I think I have quite connected him now with Serge, and you must have seen to it that how important he is and what an important role he plays. So may God bless you. Just thinking about Mahavira, it's impossible to keep it to the conscious mind. It's just going into the left all the time. Because I just in the car thought I better think about Mahavira. And since then it's all going towards the left. It's so difficult. But it will work out. So now we have talked about Bhairava and we have seen how negativity acts within us and how we get caught up. So I would say that we must always keep in mind that we have a soul and that soul can be attacked. It has been already attacked with all the kind of things we have had in these modern lives. It's already under attack. But now we have to cleanse it and put it right. If you really want to enjoy Sahaja Yoga and cleanse yourself, then you have to understand that we need lot of introspection. Lot of introspection. Now the people who are left-sided are they're not straightforward. And they're sly and they talk ill about others. Last time I discovered that in Perth there was a lot of things people were talking, and I wanted to remind you again that I heard about it also, that even now in Australia that kind of people are still there who just start at the back saying things. One person says something, another listens to it, and it's very, very bad thing. Because talking ill about others means you first of all get the ill within you. The second is that the way you propagate, you stop divinity spreading out. Thirdly, you grow into negativity yourself, and to whomsoever you talk, that person also gets infected. It's like a disease. So I think in Australia throughout we have to be very careful, because we have had 2 big somersaults, you can say, big falling, because of this only. That secretly, and this is a side, I would say Australia is very left-sided, otherwise also because Ganesha's place. That's why Ganesha was placed here, to save you and to put you right as far as the left side is concerned. And we have to be very cautious, because that temperament develops, depend on. Like also it is in England quite a lot, but say not in America, say not in Austria, not in Russia, Germany. They are on the contrary open, and they can be aggressive, but they are not sly. So either you are aggressive or you are sly. Accordingly, you must find out within yourself what's wrong with you and where are we wrong. Because after all, we are Sahajogis. It's a great chance we have got that we have got our realization. And that now we have reached a stage where we really are placed in the kingdom of God. But now how far you go into it depends only on you. Now Russia, why we were successful? Because people are very introspective. If you read any book of Russian writers like Tolstoy or anyone, anything they do, say even if they fall in love or anything, immediately they start introspecting. Why? Why am I falling in love? Why is happening to me? Why am I thinking like that? Why am I doing like that? You see, they introspect. And that introspection, if we do not have within ourselves, then what happens that we can go either to the right or to the left. But in this country, I see it's more the left side. Sly things are there. Now how all this has happened that we had some horrible leaders, agreed, and instead of talking about it or telling me about it, they all just started talking among themselves and all that. And they got all their bad qualities sort of combined within themselves. And that's how so many lost their vibrations and lost their, what should I say, the searching power. So, when you see a person or anyone who is doing wrong, better is to forget about it. Or if you don't forget, then you should write to me. Even if you don't do that, better go and talk to that person on his face, that I think this is not right. But if you write to me, it can be solved. The problem can be solved. Say now you have one Mr. X as your leader, or anybody here who is coming, say, from New Zealand, or someone from outside. Immediately you should find out, are you critical of him? What are you looking at that person? What are you trying to find out about that person? If you are critical, then know that you can never progress. You should be critical about yourself, not about others. Know that you are most imperfect. That's the best way. Like we had a child, about 9-year-old, and he was extremely sly type. And he was talking ill like this of this person to that person, and he would go and just jump onto someone and hit someone secretly, not openly. So I called the child and I asked him, what do you think of yourself? Do you think you are the most perfect person? He said, yes, I do. I said, that's it. It's finished. Such a person cannot improve. So when you try to find faults with others, know that we have too many faults ourselves. Not to feel guilty, of course, that point is there. You should never feel guilty about it. If you have faults, just see what faults do I have, how will I correct, what chakras I am catching. Instead of seeing the chakras of others, if you see your own, then you will become purified, you will be very clean, you will be wonderful, everything will be fine. But if you cannot see your own faults, that means you haven't yet got your self-realization. Self-realization means to know about yourself. And last time I did say all these things here in Perth and also otherwise, that to talk about somebody like that, to spread stories, ladies especially should be careful because they are on the left. They have to be very, very careful that they start judging others. They think they are perfect, they judge, they tell their husband, then husband tells another husband, then husband tells his wife, it spreads. You have to be extremely wise and sensible women. If you are not sensible, this will spread like a disease. In Sahaja Yoga, this is one of the diseases I dread, is what Christ has called murmuring souls. He said, beware of the murmuring souls. Leaders are also afraid to tell you something. If they tell you something, immediately you start saying, oh, mother said so, he is saying so. Whatever the leader is saying, you must listen to him, you must obey him, ask him what does he mean by saying this, what is it. Now, in case you find something wrong with the leader, you are all free to write to me, and I will definitely go into it. For example, Stephen wrote to me about someone, and I went into this, inquired, and found out what was the thing. See, so there's no harm in finding out about someone. Some lady wrote to me also, and I found it. So, but unnecessarily paying attention to another person is not a good thing. Paying attention to yourself and looking all the good points of another person, of helping another person. That's how we would be collective, we'll be growing faster, and we'll be enjoying ourselves. Now our children are here. Now, what I find that we do not know really what are the balanced ways of looking after children. So some think that when I said they are realized souls, so they say, all right, let them do what they like. It's not true. Otherwise, if that is so, they would have been born out of the trees, you see. Why are they born out of you? So you have a responsibility whether they are realized or not. You have a responsibility about your children, and you have to see that you correct them. It's very important. Some people I've seen allow their children to go just so mad, they go so amok. In this, I would say an Indian parent is an ideal parent. What he will do, he looks after the child. Also, in a way, he loves, expresses his love and all that. But if he finds anything wrong with the child, immediately he'll correct. Immediately. Not spare. In the presence of others. Now, if another person comes and tells about the child that this child has done, immediately he will scold the child. He will never get angry with another person, why did you say about my child? But thank him that thank God you have told. Because he might be spoiled more. Like I'll tell you, we had one, Avdut, now he's a grown-up boy when he was young. One day he asked me that if you leave your parents, the badhas of your parents, they leave you or not? I said, no, they may not leave the badhas of your parents. Then what's this of leaving the parents? But I said, who is leaving parents? No, he said, I heard that in the Western countries, children leave their parents when they are 18 years of age. But I would not like to leave the parents. I said, why? You can be free. He said, then I'll be free to do wrong. Who will correct me? If I take a cigarette in my hand, who will correct me? Who will tell me don't do it? I mean, if a child takes a cigarette in the hand, immediately the father will take a cigarette and burn it once more. And next time I see you, I'll burn your tongue. Finished. But the child knows that the father loves me and loves me in such a way that I should not lose my father. But he must know that he can lose the kindness of the father. If you allow the child just all the time to behave the way he likes or it likes, then it will sit on your head. Today only I was discussing with him and I told him that I was traveling one day with one lady in the train, one of the Sajoginis, and her child was there, not very old, must have been about 7 years of age. She was trying to talk to me and this fellow was all the time, mommy, mommy, and then why was going on, you see, all the time. I told her, why must you answer all his questions? He's just making inquiries. I said, nothing sensible inquiries, it's nonsense. He wants to attract your attention. So why do you want to pay so much attention to him? So she said, Mother, how to stop it? I said, I'll stop it in 1 minute. I asked him, you should not ask so many questions. So he said, why? Because I said, you are stupid. You have to learn a lot still. And if you go on asking questions like this, you'll be very, very stupid. And one day you'll have to go like a madman. Do you want to become a madman? He got a fright of his life. He'll become mad. And you see, if you children are there, you have to tell them some stories. I'll tell you how. Some children have a habit of beating others or doing something. Then you said, now, if you beat, then a tail comes out of your bottom, like that, you see, like a doggy, and something like that. And they believe it. They believe it. Next day they'll ask, is there a tail coming out? Yeah, maybe. So now, you're going to our house. Yeah, I'll be very... You see, all these tricks have to be played with children. But they're very clever. And they know how to make you dance, you see. How to make you... they're sort of slaves sometimes, for everything. They will demand, do this. Now, because they are realized souls, I was surprised that when I went to London, you see, I read in the newspaper the statistics about children, that every week in London city only, 2 children are killed by parents. I mean, that was too much for me. So I just blasted all of them and I said, nothing doing, you must love your children. As a result, all the children sat on their heads. And they couldn't come to the programs. If they came to the programs, children were to be kept outside like doggies, tied together something. And in England, I don't know, maybe here also, they do have a leash, just like a dog. You see, they hold the children just tied and say, how cruel it is. But now I know how children can be in the West. I don't know, it's white skin or whatever you may say. That first, we started a school, you see, for them, because there was no school available, they were in a mess. So we said, all right, in Dharamshala we'll start a school. So we started a school in Dharamshala, and these children were brought because they had no way to go anywhere, so in a hurry it was started, you see. So there must be something also, if you just start a school in a great hurry, maybe some things are left out. But these children were terrible because they saw these teachers who were Indians, so they came and started punching them, they started showing tongue to them, sometimes spitting at them, sometimes pinching and doing all kinds of things, you know. So the teachers got a fright. They said, Baba, we can't look after these bounders. God knows what they are up to. One day they'll bring a knife and push through us. We don't know what to do. And we have had very bad experience in Shuri camp about this children. That they had no sense of proportion, nothing. They were not cautious at all. And then I said, what will you do? They have already started jumping, said, from different places. I hope they are not jumping there. So, and one boy broke his leg, they got a fright. So I said, all right, now you do one thing. They are already spoiled. But take 1 foot rule and keep it and say that if you misbehave, this is the thing. And once or twice, just do a little bit like that. Now that doesn't mean you go on beating your children. I mean, everything should not be taken to an extreme, but there should be a balance. Must understand. So there was one boy who had come as a cook from Austria, and Yogi had asked him, he thought that he is a Westerner, you better look after the children. He started thrashing them left and right. Not the Indian women. Indian women don't thrash so much. You see, we don't beat. I mean, I have slapped my daughter once, one daughter, elder one and younger one twice in their lifetime. We don't believe in thrashing, but you see, they are afraid of our eyes. Even they know what we want, what is good. I tell you, my younger daughter, when she went to college in Delhi, she found all the girls were wearing sleeveless blouses. So she came and asked me, should I wear sleeveless blouses because all the girls are wearing sleeveless blouses? I said, go ahead, if you think so. She said, Mommy, why don't you wear sleeveless blouse? I said, I feel shy, I've never worn it, I don't like to expose my hands like that. I don't like it. It's not good. The arms, you see, should be covered, I think. Immediately she said, then it is no criteria. If I say I want this and all that, you should say yes to everything. You should have said no to me. I would have been very happy. So this wisdom is there among Indian children. They like Abdut, as I told you, he said that then who will correct me? Who will stop me from doing wrong? But that's not with our children here. So, you see, because I don't know why, but maybe that our roots are too deep or whatever it is, we are little controlled all the time. And wisdom is very important. If you tell a child, you have been very unmannerly, I mean, it's like saying the horridest thing to a child, you are unmannerly. Or to say you are very unwise, then the child feels very hurt. I am unwise, I have not been saying. But the best thing would be to say you are Sahajogis, you are special people. You can't do like that. You are Sahajogis. All the time go on telling them how dignified they should be, what is expected of a Sahajogi, it is better. But never spoil them. This is one thing you should not do, otherwise it will be a permanent headache for you. Even if they are realized souls, whatever they may be. But please see that you do not spoil them. That's very important. Also, as I told you, that don't talk ill of each other on the back. It's a very bad habit. That's how you will catch on boots and you will become extremely negative. Any such thought comes into your mind, just stop it. It's a very nasty disease, you see, that spreads. So it makes you, it's so sickening, when I hear about somebody who talks ill of someone, it's extremely sickening because it's not being human. You see, in the animal, there's one animal called hyena. And they say this hyena is like that. It comes slowly and steals a child or anything. It's a very sly type of an animal. And such a person we call as hyena in India, such a person is called as a hyena. And is regarded as a very low type of a personality. They talk like this. In Sahaja Yoga, it doesn't behave. No Sahajogi should talk ill about each other. nor should they discuss each other. Never. Now somebody does that, you must immediately say, no, please, I don't want to. Please don't tell me. This is not a very good thing. Now, politicians do like that, but not Sahajogis. Sahajogis should not do. Because, you see, you are great people, you are yogis. Do you know how a yogi becomes a realized soul in the normal way? The other day I was reading a book about Upanishads. One of them was today, only I saw it in the morning time when I got up. There was written about a yogi. That you have to really starve yourself for so many days. Then you have to do Shirshasana. With that you have to do pranayama. Then you have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning, take your bath, and then sit down for dhyana. And for 5 hours you must sit for your dhyana. After that you have to do pranayama. That's also special style. It's not easy for normal person to do that. It's till you say 16, you raise your left side, take the prana through your, you breathe through your nostril, left one. Now 64 you say keep it here, and then Rechaka, you do the taking it out 32 times. Can you imagine? This you have to do 108 times every day. Minimum. This is the minimum. Now there are so many exercises. If I tell you that, you'll be shocked. So, like you have to stand and suddenly jump and put your both the feet 5 feet apart. Imagine. Then turn round. To clear your nadis, you see, you have to turn around and put yourself on the left side. Now on the left side you put yourself, and it's quite a big thing that they have described. But in short, it's a stretching exercise. And you put your hand on the left side and go down, stretch yourself. Again go back to normal, again jump and go 5 feet apart. Then put to the right side. Nadi cleansing is this way. But there are so many other described, you see, they are so horrible. He said ordinary exercise is for ordinary people. But for a person who wants to achieve yoga, he has to do all these horrible exercises, or I don't know. By that time, all your body will be broken the way it is, or you will in any case get moksha, you see. It's like that. But what I'm trying to tell you is this, that now you've got everything simple, easy, this thing. But in a subtle way, still all these nonsensical things are sticking on. And even if you are in the boat now, still it is there and they are creating a heavy weight. And this heavy weight can really take you down again. And when you go down, after a certain height, you go down very fast. So many people we have thrown out of Sahaja Yoga, so many have gone out of Sahaja Yoga, so many have come into Sahaja Yoga. Now the people who have come in the beginning are excused for some time, and also they see you how you behave. It's very important. So first thing we must know that we are people who are Sahaja Yogis, special type of people, specially blessed, and we have so many privileges. So we have to be extremely dignified. I've seen people just will laugh for nothing at all. In a group you are there, they just start laughing. There's no need to laugh, but they'll just start laughing. Even if I am sitting, they'll just go on chatting and talking and see no sense at all. But if your guru is sitting there, you have to keep quiet. You have to be humble. You have to have awe. All these things are important, which we have to gradually learn. Because you have never had a proper training about spiritual life. You see what these churches, or you can say these temples that you have seen, or anything else that you have got those, you see, have not been real masters to tell you how to behave, how to address, how to be there. So now gradually you should see for yourself that you have to grow, and grow very fast. And for that you have to remember we must need our introspection to see, where am I? Now what am I doing? Now the anger is coming. As soon as the anger starts coming, go and stand before your mirror and said, now come along, let's get angry. You face yourself all the time and it will help, not the others. Now I have to tell you that whenever you find such people coming up, they will form a group. Then a group can become bigger or absolutely small, depending on you. You have to just say, Mother has said not to listen a word against anyone, just not to listen. And in the beginning, of course, it is quite a lot has to be tolerated. Like I've seen, if you see the letters written to me in the beginning of Sahaja Yoga, they are so maddening. This person talking ill about that, that person talking ill about that. I mean, anybody would be mad to read all that. So I never read them. All these letters I used to just burn away. But luckily now these people have become extremely sensible, they understand their responsibility, they have become very, very beautiful people, very understanding, and the love that they have for each other is very interesting. Only in love you can know about others, not in hatred. If you hate someone, how will you know about that person, the beauty of that person? So then you start seeing the beauty of that person and you start enjoying that person. This is what Sahaja Yoga is. So I would like you to see that you train your children in such a manner that they feel their responsibilities as such. May God bless.
Let's remain in meditation for one more minute. We can now stand up for Arti, and whoever is born in April or has the desire to offer Arti, please come forward.
How do you know?
You don't know?
I don't know.
हमको ट्रेल लगे हम ट्रेल लगे हमारे को ट्रेल
I have to play, right? Did you play alone? I'd play with you.
up to you
I will.
सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ। जग में संकट तारण कितने लिए अवतार, माँ कितने लिए अवतार। देश में तेरी महिमा, देश में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना। माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता, जय निर्मल माता, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जो शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको, हाँ सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में हो माँ, बैठ के दिल में हो माँ, लौट के ना जाना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता, जय निर्मल माता, में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर कर दिया उजियाला, माँ कर दिया उजियाला। युग में माया, कल युग में माया, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता, जय निर्मल माता, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, इसे दूर करना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता, जय निर्मल माता, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तो मधुर संगीत सुन लो, माँ मधुर संगीत सुन लो। होए सके जो सेवा, होए सके जो सेवा, तुमसे करा लेना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता, जय सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। शक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
Let's remain in meditation to absorb the vibrations. Shree Mataji, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you for keeping us always surrendered at your lotus feet. Thank you, Mother, for everything. We can raise our energy, take Bandhan and bow down. Please remain seated as we distribute the prasad. Team 2, please come and help.
हाँ